Hey, what's up, people? Duncan here again. I want to take a second and talk about the state of Jefferson. Okay, so as you can see here, the state of Jefferson, there's 76% of Oregon, of the representation here in Oregon lies within this upper corner of Oregon. That's the Portland-Salem area. Okay, that means that very limited representation in the rest of Oregon. So 22 senators in Portland and Salem area, and 8 in the rest of Oregon. What this means is if the 22 senators decide to pass a bill, a law, or taxes upon the state of Oregon, 3/4 of the state has no say on it. Okay, this is relevant when it comes to state taxes, when it comes to laws, when it comes to the Second Amendment, yada yada yada. You have these section right here that is liberal sanctuary Oregon. Okay, one little corner of it. The rest of us in rural Oregon are silenced. We're silenced by dictatorships, we're silenced by overtaxation, we're silenced by big government. We're completely silenced and we have no voices on it. One of the things we're suggesting is you take one representative for one county all over this state. So each county should have one rep instead of 22 in one city. Now, what happens is that would provide a more balanced voice in Oregon. But that's never going to happen. These people will never allow that to happen because they control the popular vote. So we, in the rest of Oregon, we get left behind. Now, the state of Jefferson says this: you can support yourself. We don't agree with you. You don't agree with us. We can support ourselves. Let's split the state. You could be liberal as much as you want to be. You could do your pass your cap and trade and all that other good stuff upon yourself. And we would be free to create our own system. So let's go down on how this works. First of all, why support the state of Jefferson? Okay, so the state of Jefferson is a growing movement to regain representation, creating a new state from 2 existing states. This has been done 4 times in our history. Okay, we want to restore our constitutional liberties, reduce growing taxes and regulations, and restore a local-based model of government where social services, education, and natural resources are handled locally. Okay, what this means is we want to be able to decide how much say our federal government has on us. We want to limit the amount of government looking upon over us. We want to ensure that our government does not become what Salem is today, an overstepping dictatorship that imposes taxes and laws upon its people. Now, you might think, is it time to really start over? Well, think about this. Thomas Jefferson once said a little rebellion now and then is a good thing. Now, what this means is, at some point you have to be disgruntled. At some point you cannot allow yourself to be subdued. You can't allow yourself to be submitted to this tyranny or this oppression or this dictatorship. So at some point, freedom causes for an act of rebellion. So with that being said, the state of Jefferson would be free from overregulation, overtaxation, and underrepresentation. And that's the big one, underrepresentation, which means that the state of Jefferson would be able to represent itself and the voices of its people, rather than having one city represent the entire area, the entire state. A new state that would exercise its right under the 10th Amendment to halt federal government from overreaching laws according to the U.S. Constitution. We need a state with fewer agencies, less taxes, less bureaucracy, state sovereignty, more personal freedoms. Okay, what this means is, let's go over this. State with fewer agencies. Meaning, how many times have we paid taxes for agencies with acronyms we don't even know about? Acronyms, three-letter agencies that spend billions and billions of dollars and federally for a lot of things we don't even believe in or care about or know about. Okay? Less taxes. Because we currently live in a state that's charging us $500 billion extra dollars annually in taxes, and it continues to go up. Less bureaucracy, which means less dictatorship, less government throwing laws at us, laws that we don't even agree with. State sovereignty, meaning that we are no longer under the rule of another state or under federal government. We have the ability to write out a state constitution, to create our own state laws, and such. And in the same regard, we would earn more personal freedoms by doing so because we would be in charge of the state. Now, the legality of it. Let's look at the legality. Article 4, Section 3 of the United States Constitution lays out a specific framework for what we propose in that no state shall be broken into two states unless the state legislation agrees, the Congress agrees. A simple majority vote, 51% in both the state legislators and Congress, is all it takes to form Jefferson. Forming a new state from an existing state is not new. It's been done 4 times in our history. Vermont to New York, Maine from Massachusetts, and Kentucky and West Virginia from Virginia. Okay? So, again, what this means is the ability to get the county by county to put doctrines, to have people petition in each county of the existing Oregon to file a new state legislation, a new state. All you need is 51%. You can get that by convincing the existing state or Portland and Salem that they don't want us. Why would they want us? We don't agree with them. We don't want to pay for their taxation. We don't like their rule of law. So why would they want us around? If they have the ability to discard us from that occasion, why not? Why wouldn't they? Now, especially if we're making things so displeasurable for them that they're looking to just give us what we want. Now is that time. It's getting to that point. Now, as I was stating, overran by the urban counties. Okay, the Willamette Valley counties control Oregon elections. Jefferson would embrace constitutional values, private property rights, and restore a representative form of our government. Which means that right now, one city elects our politicians. One city. Well, the state of Jefferson would have a form of government that would allow each county to have each member represented, and our government would be representing us as individuals instead of as a state. And it would be one city. We would set provisions so that one city could no longer dictate policies for the entire state. Okay. Merging two systems would not involve reinventing the wheel. There are many successful rural state constitutions that can be used as a template. The idea would be to pick up the best current operating system and adopt it to the state of Jefferson. Many of the details will be decided at a state constitutional convention, with delegates being sent from every county. Okay, that's what I was getting into now. We are already establishing the Constitutional Convention, and we are now currently in the process of looking for delegates from each county. So we are moving forward at a very fast rate. Is Jefferson financially viable? Yes. Okay, now this is a complete, to me, to me, we can do better than this, okay? They're saying this number, but I'm saying that if you look at the counties that are involved, and you look at some of the legislation like the Marijuana Acts, and you look at the industries that we could do with marijuana in places like Humboldt, as well as all over these small rural counties in Oregon and California, you're talking about multi-billions and billions of dollars of surplus. Not just 8 million surplus, I'm talking billions and billions of dollars that we as the state of Jefferson could get without a problem. So as you can see, we want a business-friendly tax structure. Okay, what this is basically means is what we want is a tax structure that allows businesses to come to the state of Jefferson, that does not tax them, creates incentives for these businesses, and puts people to work. We want a business-friendly system that will allow people, the residents of the state of Jefferson, to work rather than being on socialistic welfare programs. Now, here's the thing. Everybody, if you live in Oregon, there's the counties, okay? There's the website. Go check it out. I really appreciate everybody watching. And that's what the state of Jefferson would look like. So please support, share, invite, and all that good stuff. If you have any questions, ask me. Send me questions. Come over, check it out, talk about it, and all that good stuff. Thank you for watching. God bless. Have a great day. Duncan, out.